We're all trapped here anyway. We might as well just get along. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going anywhere. Um, so it's been a while and it really wasn't supposed to be, so that's my bad. I'm really gonna try to post at least once a week. I don't know. Has it been longer than a week? I don't know, but it feels this video was supposed to be done a long time ago, so that's my bad. But I am back. There's still no name, but we are getting closer because I want to have pink in it. Like, I want it to have something to do with pink. So I'm getting ideas like Pink in Theory, which is like, I kind of like that because it's like, like, because they're thinking about stuff here. Or like Presently Pink or Persistently Pink, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. So, but I like also want the name to just like come to me in like a dream or something. So, like, I'm gonna like let it go and hope it just comes to me. But it's been a while. Valentine's Day passed. Um, yeah, so I'm filming this a little bit after Valentine's Day. Um, Last time, I was trying to film this video because I did try to film a second video a few different times. But I don't think the way that I had it set up was working for me. So, I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more formatted where I know what I'm talking about before I cut the camera on. So I was thinking like, okay, like when I'm having deep thoughts about something, I'll just always mark it down. Like, I'll write down what I'm thinking, so I can come back to it on and talk to you guys about it. But the problem with that was when I was going back and like rereading some of like the stuff that I wrote, like, I'm kidding you not, none of it was making any sense. I was like, what was I trying to say? What was I trying to say? I couldn't really decipher what I was talking about. So, I was like, you know what? None of this is making sense. This is, I don't know what I even know what I'm talking about. I don't know. I lost my train of thought a million different times. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to have one topic at the beginning of the video and start there and then just, see where the video takes me. So it's like easier to follow along and it's more authentic. So today, I want to talk about choosing yourself and why it's important to always choose yourself and to live through yourself and to live for yourself. And that when you start living selfishly, actually life will reward you. So yeah, that's what the focus is going to be on today. So one of the things that I'm noticing is like how hard it is for us to be open and honest with each other nowadays. Like, how hard it is for natural connections, how hard it is for something easy, how hard it is to truly meet genuine people when you are looking for them. I feel like the most genuine connections that I've had have come naturally. And they weren't like I was looking for friends and this is who I found and things like that. Because I feel like it's almost always like that. Like, every time something seems too good to be true with someone, I feel like it really do be. Like, especially when it comes to friendships, because like you just don't truly know who these people are sometimes. So like people can really surprise you. And I think that because of that, all of us have like this really huge guard up over our true identity and protecting our true personality, because I feel like once we reveal that to people, I feel like it opens up a sense of vulnerability of this person knows who I am, this person truly knows me. So the words that this person says might hit a little bit different, they might hit a little bit deeper because this person has experience with me. So I feel like we have learned naturally to be more protective over our true identity when it comes to meeting new people, because we want to protect that side of ourselves. We don't want to like truly give everyone access, because the wrong people having access can lead to things that hurt our feelings and hurt our egos and give us unpleasant emotions. So I feel like because of that now, you don't really know who someone is until you are invested long term. And I feel like some things aren't meant to withstand the test of time when it comes to like experiences. Like, I feel like what I'm really trying to get at is like, I feel like we could have way more natural experiences with each other and natural experiences with our friends if we were just open and honest about who we are when someone met us. Like, I feel like there would be less hard feelings between people, there would be less breakups, there would be less makeups, there would be less all types of that. Like, if people were truly honest about who they are and what they want out of a relationship with someone, or why they're here, or what motivates them, or the type of person they are, if like everyone just dropped the facade, I feel like we could be more accepting of each other, and then in turn be more accepting of ourselves. Because I feel like the reason we can feel so judged by society and judged by people around us is because we are judging other people. We're looking around at other people and judging them and wondering how they can live like that, and things that we would never let, go for us and things like that. Like, and I feel like because of that, people are a lot more scared to truly be who they are. And when people are scared to be who they are, that's when the fake personalities come up. That's when, things aren't genuine. That's when people are using people and having a guard up. And I feel like it all just comes from people being scared to truly be who they are, and people not wanting to be vulnerable with other people. And I feel like you can miss out a lot in life if you go through life with a fear of connection. So when people, and I change my mind on this all the time, because like I was literally just talking about the other night, like how you shouldn't really look for anything romantic, or you shouldn't look for people when you're too young, but I also feel like you should not be closed off to that either. I feel like you shouldn't be closed off to love. I feel like you shouldn't be closed off to meeting people. I feel like obviously it's not something that you should look for, because when you look for something, it runs away from you. So like if you truly want something, I feel like you just have to let it come to you. But yeah, I feel like it could just be hard for people sometimes to be accepting of themselves when they're judging other people. So I feel like if we're all more honest about who we are, it would just be a big old circle. Like, I'm more accepting of you, you're more accepting of me, therefore we can all feel better in this shared space of this planet that we're all put here on the same time. We're all trapped here anyway. We might as well just get along. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going anywhere. I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're put in certain environments with people, I feel like it is way more easier to just be accepting of differences between people. Like, it is way easier to just be like, okay, we're not going to think the same, and that's okay. It is way easier to just be accepting of different perspectives and not having an anger or a negative emotion behind something all the time. And that's another thing. Stop fearing your emotions. Do not fear your emotions. Do not fear being sad. Do not fear being angry. Do not fear having anxiety, because that will control you. That will control your life. And if you really think about your emotions and what you feel physically when you become sad, that is the feeling that you're running from. That is what's propelling your body in the opposite way. Your body does not want to feel that lump in the back of your throat when you have anxiety. Your body does not want that shortness of breath. Your body does not want that tightness of chest, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't really physically hurt. It's just an uncomfortable feeling. So when feelings like that come up, I kind of like to almost sit with them. Like, because what I'm telling you, like, when you have a lot of anxiety and you can like start to recognize the feeling of having anxiety, you can almost regulate your nervous system to be calmer in situations. Like, I feel like once I was no longer afraid of the sensation of anxiety or embarrassment and things like that, once I was no longer having a subconscious of where my mind would guide me away from situations where I could potentially feel anxiety or potentially feel embarrassed, once I started not allowing that to control me and started doing things regardless of whether I was going to be scared or have embarrassment or be shy, or regardless if it was something I'd never done before. Once I started not paying attention to that part of my brain and started just doing things and started being familiar with the feeling and not being scared of it, number one, I gained more control over my emotions. I gained more control over how I reacted to things. I gained more clarity on what was going on around me. I gained more understanding of how I feel and why I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I can almost understand my emotions better because I can recognize when they're here. Like, ooh, I feel anxious right now. Why do I feel anxious right now? What's going on that makes me feel anxious? Like, there's this one practice that I learned, like, and I find it so helpful. So, like, when you are worrying about something or when you're scared of something, like, ask a couple things about what you're scared of. Like, the first one, I think it was like, is that true? Can I know that for certain? And how is it making me feel? So whatever belief it is that you're like, okay, like, let's say like you are nervous about presenting in class or something like that, and you're having the reoccurring thought of, oh, I'm gonna mess up, I'm gonna mess up, I'm gonna mess up. So your first question would be like, is that true? Do you know that for certain? Do you know for certain that you are going to mess up in front of everyone? No. How is it making you feel when you think that? Like, oh, it's making me feel anxious. It's making me feel unprepared. And like, just recognizing that fact and sitting with it, it'll help you, like, I feel like it'll help you regulate and understand your emotions better. And once everyone stops running from being scared and stops running from, embarrassment, and stops running from anxiety, I feel like we can all get a lot more out of life. Like, I feel like we sell ourselves short on our time in this planet because we are scared of things, and we shouldn't be. And I like to think that, like, I knew I was coming here and that I agreed to be here. So when I recognize that, and you truly sit with the idea that God has a path for you here and you have a reason for being here, you start to, okay, I understand that now. So what can I do to make the best out of my situation? What was I supposed to do? Why would I, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we all have to start understanding that life is not supposed to be hard. Like, life, the saying is life is hard, but in real reality, like, we're not supposed to be fighting with each other all the time. We're not supposed to be angry. We're not supposed to be going through all of these things that control us all the time. We're not supposed to be in these states of constant panic and fear and limitations. We're not supposed to live like that. Like, we're supposed to be free and open with each other, because what else is there to be? When you start centering like your life around yourself, I really feel like it helps you center your life around other people as well, because when I totally immerse myself in the idea that my perspective is the only perspective here and that everyone else is reflections of me, like, it really made it easier for me to be more understanding of other people and more understanding of the fact that, like, the way that I feel in my perspective is the way other people feel in their perspectives as well. Like, we are all here for the first time ever now. So I just had to, like, think about that like that. Like once I centered, like, I'm the only one having this experience, and like the only true emotions that I can feel are emotions that I give to myself. No one can give me an emotion, because an emotion is a physical feeling that comes internally. So like that feeling you have when you're happy, it's a physical feeling. Like you can feel it physically. Like it's not just like an idea. Like what I'm trying to really say is like it's connected to like a physical aspect of your body, and nobody can give that to you except yourself, truly. So like when you go into relationships looking for someone to fulfill you in a sort of way, like a lot of the times you will always end up unfulfilled or constantly looking for something else, because that person cannot give you that feeling. You have to give your feeling to yourself. Like that person cannot do anything to you to make you feel a certain way physically within. Like you have to be able to have that feeling within your body to experience it coming from someone else. Like it can be short term, like when you first get with someone and you're like, oh, this is what I needed, this is exactly what I wanted, I feel so happy, I feel so loved, and then 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line, you're looking like, why do I still feel so empty? Like why do I still feel lonely even though I'm with this person? Why is it feeling like that? Like why am I going back to that way? I thought I got everything that I wanted. It's because you didn't, because you are still of lack within. Like you still feel lonely inside. So of course, like the comfort of having people near you materially isn't going to fulfill that inside feeling that you have. You have to recognize where your different emotions are coming from before you can understand why they're here. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Like I've basically, been centering my life around myself. And I feel like it's helped me recognize other things with other people. And I feel like we should all just be nice. Be nice to each other. Be nice to each other. Be nice to each other. Like it's not supposed to be this hard. It's not supposed to be this angry. It's not supposed to be this mad. And like I feel like if we understood each other more, we would be less scared of each other, and less scared of being vulnerable with each other, and less scared of being open with each other. I feel like we can foster more authentic and genuine connections with everyone on this planet if we were just more understanding of ourselves. Like really, like I feel like the reason we don't understand a lot of people around us is because we truly don't even understand ourselves first. So I feel like if the whole world did inner work, if the whole world yada yada yada, like world would be so much better, blah blah blah. But yeah, like that's really the idea though. Like I feel like that can be so important. And I'm so glad that I can recognize that. And I'm so glad that like I can talk about it. So yeah. But yeah, that's one of the things that I've, been noticing, that I feel like if people were more understanding of ourselves, we would be more understanding of each other. And then life, when it comes to relationships and vulnerability, would be a lot easier, because at the end of the day, like we just want to protect ourselves from this feeling of vulnerability. And also, you guys, like your mind lies to you sometimes. Your mind lies to you. Your mind lies to you, and I'm gonna tell you how. Your mind lies to you when you judge yourself or you second guess yourself. Anytime you do that, that is your body trying to protect you from the feeling of disappointment or the feeling of rejection. Like let's say like this is your championship game, and your head is like playing like you're gonna lose. That is your body trying to prepare you for the feeling of losing this game, because your body wants to protect you from it. Your body wants to protect you from this feeling, so it's trying to prepare you for it. So that's what that is. Like, don't pay that any attention, because it actually has nothing to do with whether you'll lose the game or not. Or like, even like you're in an art contest or whatever, and you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't, I don't want to submit my work because I think I don't think I'm gonna do it very good. I don't think people are gonna like it. I don't think I'm gonna win. Like, I don't want to, like, all that fear of putting yourself out there, that fear of being seen, that fear of being cringe, all that comes from a part in your brain that is trying to protect yourself, but it's being too protective. Like, that feeling, what I want to get at is that feeling is not coming from you. That feeling is coming from your nervous system. Like, for example, like when you flinch, like when someone like bucks at you and you like secondly like flinch, like you flinch like automatically, like that movement of your body to naturally protect itself, that is what's happening anytime you are fearful of doing something. That is what's happening, but it's happening on like an emotional level instead of a physical one. So like all you're doing is flinching. So like you shouldn't really, like, I mean, of course, like consider like all possibilities and things like that, but don't think that it means anything. Don't think that it means it's not for you. Recognize that that is just your body trying to protect itself. Recognize that that is all that is your body's natural reflex to protect itself, and that you don't have to listen to that, and it doesn't have to control you. Your fears don't have to control you here on this planet. But yeah, I think it's a good time to stop the video. I think I talked enough. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. High volume. Am I really that?